Welcome to the Purple Party known as Purple Nerd Channel, home for all those who geek out on all things Prince related. John L. Nelson, who was Prince's father, was a jazz composer, pianist, and bandleader born in Webster Parish, Louisiana, just outside of Shreveport. John started his musical career under the name Prince Rogers, playing in multiple jazz bands throughout the city, at every club and burlesque show that was hiring musicians. Eventually, he would make his way up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, with his own band, the Prince Rogers Trio, where he performed his own original compositions at jazz clubs like the Phyllis Wheatley House and the Blue Note Jazz Club, which is where he met jazz singer Mattie Shaw, who he would eventually marry and have 2 children with, those being a daughter named Tika and a son named Prince. For 35 years, the Prince Rogers Trio would nightly perform original music by John L. Nelson. Strangely though, with hundreds of original songs being performed over the years, and with John being known as a prolific songwriter, with thousands of songs written but never performed, I find it really odd that there is little to no studio recordings of his work. His daughter Sharon, Prince's half-sister, pushed to get their dad to record an album in 1978, but due to scheduling conflicts and Prince's career taking off, the album just kind of got lost in the mix. Sharon would release some of her father's music in 2018 with the jazz instrumental album Don't Play With Love, credited to the John L. Nelson Project. This album was recorded at Paisley Park Studios, with a band made up of some of the greatest jazz musicians led by John L. Nelson's nephew, Louis Hayes, performing original songs composed by John L. Nelson, as Sharon had accidentally come across several pages of her father's written compositions, similar to the scene in Purple Rain where the kid stumbles across his father, Francis L's music. This project was produced by Sharon Nelson and co-produced by Charles F. Spicer Jr., with Londell McMillan credited as the executive producer. But with this project actually not featuring John L. Nelson playing or performing, I decided to dig deep to find some actual recordings of him. And I came across this mysterious release in 1994 called Father Song, released by Vive Records, which I think was independently released by Sharon L. Nelson, as Vive Records had released the single Body Talk 2 years earlier in 1992 by the group MC Sharon and the Posse, which is performed by rapper at the time, Sharon Nelson. So let's explore this very peculiar release. We open up with Yes Again. So the mix on these songs is pretty much all I can say is rough, and the credits are almost non-existent. And as no drummer is credited, I have to assume that the beats are nothing more than sampled drum loops. The singer and the little bit of random talking we get to hear sounds like Prince, but there are no credits for who's actually singing. Also, the guitar work sounds like something that Prince would work up, and it's even credited to Gemini, which totally sounds like a Prince alias, but apparently it's Marvin Gemini Hodge. Next is There Be No Way for You and I. Amazing grace, now then, this song right here, we get some gospel and fuller production, with Sharon rapping, or better yet, giving a sermon to the beat.
In unity, life has its way of showing what will be.
And again, we have uncredited vocalists on the chorus. I have to say though that John's piano performance blends much better with this production, which Sharon Nelson, Ron Long, and God are credited as producers on the entire project. Next is As I Recall. We have what has to be another sampled drum loop, which really detracts from John's amazing piano work. The chorus that loops sounds as if it was performed by the same uncredited vocalist from the previous song. We close with Falling Down. These drum loops and Parliament Funkadelic samples do not fuse well with John's spectacular piano playing. This song is purely an instrumental and features no vocals. Aside from a few undistinguishable spoken dialogue in the background, but we do get some Prince-akin guitar solos from Gemini. This project really feels more like a demo or a proof of concept than a fully fleshed idea. John L. Nelson would work with his son Prince over the years, sharing credits with Prince on Father's Song, Around the World in a Day, The Ladder, Christopher Tracy's Parade, Under the Cherry Moon, and Scandalous. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Please like and share this video. And if you have a moment, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel grow. And go ahead and check out my Patreon page. I will have a link to that in the description down below, where you can see all my videos early, uncut, and ad-free. I will see you in the next episode where I talk about another Royal Purple family member. And until that next episode, I wish you heaven.